Human drivers in the UK won't be liable for accidents when vehicle is self-driving. Ooh. You kind of like weaved a thread here.
Did I?
With this like lineup of stories this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like you had EVs, then we had full self-driving going up in price, and then we had the kid getting hit. Mm-hmm. And the video being taken down. And now we have self-driving where the driver themselves won't be liable in the UK. It's like, hey, there's some kind of pattern here.
Yeah.
There's a little mark detour. Mm-hmm. Well, this is tough philosophically. I mean, listen, if you let the system work the way you're supposed to and you listen to what everybody's telling you and you're monitoring the situation, the car does something funky, it's hard to put you in jail. It's definitely hard, but it's going to bring up all types of questions. The cars are not going to have really sophisticated systems for determining if you were responsive enough as a driver. Sure, when it says, hey, emergency warning, grab here, do this, whatever. And
they're drunk, just wasted.
Man. British government unveiled the roadmap over the weekend, announcing $119 million in funding for AV projects, an additional $41 million for research to support safety and new legislation. The roadmap stated that new legislation will build on existing laws and state that manufacturers are responsible for the actions of self-driving vehicles, meaning a human driver would not be liable for incidents related to driving while the vehicle is in control of driving. Oof, big liability for makers then, for automakers.
They got to get that self-driving on lock.
Oh my God, that lawsuit comes through the one time and it's enormous. What are the losses? It hits the kid.
Or like a civil suit.
It's enormous.
Imagine like a car hitting a bus full of people.
That's not very nice, Will.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's pretty dark.
It's a terrible
It's pretty dark, Will.
All right, yeah.
Was like, imagine a car hitting a bus full of people.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, you have to imagine all these things. Especially if you're in a position coming up with these policies, you have to imagine all possibilities. And it's just really complicated. It remains complicated philosophically. How do you hold a person liable when you approve the technology that's enabling the self-driving? How do you hold them liable? They're like, listen, you told me that I could use that. Mm-hmm. It does put a lot of pressure on the makers to figure out full self-driving, like really figure it out, because the consequences could be enormous if they're being held liable instead of the driver, which is why you see mostly here a lot of onus on the driver still. Like, hey, where's your hands? Get them on the wheel. Mm-hmm. Hey, sir, you're like, if you aren't getting that hand on the wheel and checking up often enough, it's kicking you out of self-driving for a while.
Yeah, you get penalized.
For a while. They're like, nah, you're done with self-driving for this trip.
Yeah.
You're done for a bit. So
we deem you not trustworthy.
I would assume that the automakers would definitely still want some liability to rest on the individual, the driver, the person monitoring the technology. Mm-hmm.